Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. I've got 4 pairs of true wireless sport earphones here today to test and find out which ones are the best. We have a lot to cover, so let's get right into it. So what we have here are the Powerbeats Pro from Beats, the Bose Sound Sport 3, the JBL Reflect Flow and the Jaybird Vista. I also use my old Sony SP700s and the new Sony WF-1000X Mark IIIs as reference for noise isolation and sound quality. Now first let's see the Beats Powerbeats Pros. These earphones cost €250, which makes them the most expensive in this group. They are also the only ones with these adjustable hooks which are going around your ears, providing a very good and secure fit. However, it is a bit of a hassle putting them on, but as soon as they are on, they are very comfortable. The batteries can last 9 hours with one charge, and you have 15 more hours of charge in the case on top of the 9 in the earbuds, so it's 24 hours combined. The case is very large with a sort of plasticky feel. I personally don't like that much, but the build quality is really good. The lid opens and closes firmly and the earbuds are held magnetically inside. There is a lighting connector on the back and the status LED on the front. You also have fast charge, which means you can get 1.5 hours of playback time with only 5 minutes of charging. Next are the Bose Sound Sport 3s. These cost about €200. The earbuds are the largest of them all by far, and I feel like I look a little bit silly wearing these, especially in this bright orange color. The fit is okay, even though they are not the most secure when running as they stick out quite a bit, but at least they are comfortable. The batteries last only 5 hours with one charge, and the case has juice in it for another 10 hours, which means there is 15 hours of total battery life, which is not too bad at all, but the others do better in that regard. The case itself is rather big and plasticky and it still uses micro USB. The quick charge function can only give you 45 minutes of use after 15 minutes of charging. The 5 LEDs on the front will show you the status of the batteries. This is the only case with a physical button on it, which either turns on the LEDs or opens up the lid. It is a bit hard to open and strong magnets hold the earbuds inside, so your earbuds are quite secure even if you drop the case. Going down in price a bit and you can have the Jaybird Vistas for around €190. These are the smallest and lightest earbuds with one of the most secure fits. Thanks to their size and fit, they are extremely comfortable to wear. They sit nicely in your ears for hours without any trouble. The batteries also do really well considering their size, as they last 6 hours with one charge. The total battery life is 16 hours, but you can double it as the earbuds work independently, so you can use only one while the other is being charged. Not sure how many people would use them this way, but at least there is an option. The case itself is small, lightweight and can fit in almost everywhere. It is very well built and uses a nice, soft, rubbery material. This case is also the only one using USB-C, and according to Jaybird it is crush-proof. I don't know about that as I didn't test it myself, but I dropped the case once and it popped open so easily that the earbuds flew a couple of feet away. And last but not least, there are the JBL Reflect Flows, which are the least expensive as you can get them for €150 or even less. So these buds are medium sized, not too small, not too big. The build quality is first class. You can have quite a snug fit combining the 3 different sized ear tips and separate fins. Both the Jaybird and the Bose have these one-piece ear gels, so there is no chance to mix and match the separate tips and fins as you can with the JBLs, but at least they all have different size options to choose from. The Beats have 4 ear tips, but the hook is a one-size-fits-all design, and it works surprisingly well. But back to the JBLs, these are the best in terms of battery life, as they can run up to 10 hours with one charge, and you can add another 20 hours of charge inside the case, which makes it a total of 30 hours. That is impressive. Also, 10 minutes of rapid charge gives you 1 hour of playback time. The case itself is well built, nicely designed with a combination of aluminium and soft rubber. The lid closes and opens easily, maybe a bit too easily, but the earphones feel securely locked in. There is a micro USB connector, which is rather odd considering it's a brand new design in 2019. The 4 LEDs on the back show the status of your battery. Because these earphones are all designed for sports, they all have some level of water resistance. The Jaybirds and the JBLs offer IPX7 rated protection against sweat and water, which means that you can even submerge them into water and they will survive. It doesn't mean you can swim in them because radio signals will be blocked by the water, but it's safe to watch them and you don't have to worry about dropping them in water either. The Beats and the Bose are IPX4 rated, which also means sweat and rain resistance, but they are not supposed to be submerged into water at all. All four earphones use Bluetooth to connect to your phone or any other device for that matter. They all have Bluetooth 5.0 except for the Bose, which uses the older 4.1 version. I did not experience too many problems with signal dropouts and signal strength. There were only a few dropouts with the JBLs, even after I had to reconnect the two buds manually, because there was only sound coming from the right earbud. The connection problem was sorted, but the earphones kept dropping the signal occasionally. Not a deal breaker, but the other three managed to keep the connection strong and stable with no dropouts at all. I also tested the earphones with video playback. I used YouTube and Netflix and found that only the Bose SoundSport 3s had trouble playing videos, more than likely due to the older 4.1 version of Bluetooth. The others gave me smooth video playback with no lag and sync issues at all. I only did a quick test using the earbuds as headsets outside with some traffic noise around me, and they all did the job just fine in terms of phone call quality. Except for the Jaybirds, which were actually pretty bad. The person on the other side of the call could barely hear what I was saying and the sound was breaking up all the time. But when it comes to app support, the Jaybird is king. That's a great app with loads of features, including custom EQ settings. It also shows the battery percentage of each earbud in the notifications bar. You can also customize the function of the physical buttons on the earbuds. There are quick guides teaching you how to use the earbuds as well. This is the most feature-rich app of them all, without question. Bose has an app too, but it doesn't do much other than a few basic settings, but at least there is an app. Beats has no app at all, and strangely enough, JBL's own headphones app does not support the Reflect Flow as of today. In 2019, you would expect to have an app to be used with your wireless earphones, especially for €200 or more. Moving on to the physical controls, I like the buttons on the Beats the most, as we have separate volume controls on each earbud, and there is also a button in the middle which can control play, track and calls. The buttons are easy to press, sometimes maybe too easy, but at least you don't have to apply too much force and push the whole thing into your ear canals, as is the case with the Jaybirds and the JBLs. Voice Assistant works with both Android and iOS, and there is a sensor which switches the earphones off if you take one out of your ears and switch them back on if you put it back in. This can be quite handy. The second best in terms of controls would be the Jaybird Vistas, as they offer play, track, call, volume and voice assistant functions, and you can also customize the button functionality inside the app. What I don't like about the buttons on the Jaybird is that they are too hard to press, and you kind of have to push the earbuds deep into your ear canal every time you press the button, and it's not too comfortable. And unlike the Beats, it doesn't have separate volume controls. Sure, the Jaybirds are much smaller than the Beats, and probably there was not enough space for separate buttons, but still, it would have been nice. But at least it has volume controls, not like the JBLs, which do not. The Reflect Flows have only play, track and call functions available on the buttons, which are a bit hard to press, but you get an ambient aware function which can help when out running or if someone wants to talk to you while you have the earbuds in. The Bose has volume as well as play, track and call controls with a good button layout and separate buttons for each function. At first it might be confusing which button does what, but there is a quick guide in the app to teach you the functionality of each button. You might say that's all fine, but how do they sound? You're right, let's discuss sound quality. We are talking about earphones after all, aren't we? First, let me say that sound quality is a matter of personal taste, and there are a lot of factors which can make your experience totally different from mine. I started with sitting down at home and listening to all of them one by one, focusing on their sound signatures and sound quality, and made notes about the differences. I repeated this session a couple of times until I came to a conclusion regarding to their sound. Then I went to the gym and also went out for a run to see if you can still hear any difference between one or the other. So, if I had to describe each with one word, that would be the following. The Boses are rich, the JBLs are powerful, the Beats are smooth, and the Jaybirds are neutral. So, the Boses are rich. It means that they sound great, lively and musical. The sound is rich in details and well balanced, the bass is tight, definition of the mids is great with good vocals, and the highs are crisp but not overcooked. These guys are quite great performers overall. Next, the JBLs are powerful. The bass is deep and punchy, maybe too deep and too punchy for some, including myself. The mids are clear but a bit recessed, they are overpowered by the bass. Highs are sparkling and powerful. Not the most neutral sound, but it's enjoyable and can be a good choice for a heavy workout. The beats are smooth, which can either be a good thing or bad. You lose some detail in the mids and highs and there is not too much power in the bass either, but it's still pleasant to listen to in the long run. Not sure if it's just because they are very comfortable to wear for hours or there are less problems with compression thanks to the mellow highs, but probably a little bit of both. Since there are no EQ options, you have to make sure you like the smooth, laid-back sound before you buy these. Last but not least, the Jaybirds. These guys are neutral. Out of the box they might sound a bit flat for some, especially compared to the others. But after listening to them for a while you realize that the bass is dynamic and tight, mid-range definition is good, and the highs are revealing and detailed without ever being harsh. All in all, it's a very balanced sound, but maybe a touch too shy for some people. That's why it's great to have the app and the custom EQ function, which can help you with tailoring their sound to your taste. Now, let's take them to the gym and see if the differences in their sound is noticeable in the middle of your workout or not. First of all, I found myself not focusing on the music that much when pushing it hard, whether I was running or lifting weights. All of the earphones sounded good enough to me. At the end of the day, there are too many factors that can affect the sound quality. Your streaming settings, compression, codecs, the noise around you and your elevated heart rate by the end of your run intervals might negate the sound differences altogether. Sure, if you use them at work or at home, when you can or want to focus on the music itself, the differences are rather obvious. Regardless of which earbuds you end up with, do not expect such a great sound quality and noise isolation as from the Sony WF-1000X Mark IIIs, as these guys are superior to all wireless earphones. I wish Sony had made them waterproof and added some extra fins for a more secure fit, so you could use them for sports, but they didn't, so it is what it is. The Sony SP700s, however, are far worse than any of these four in terms of sound quality and battery life. So more than likely I'm going to switch to either the Jaybirds or the JBLs, but let's see which one and why. So we went through all the details like design, fit, battery life, connection, controls, sound quality, but what is the conclusion here? Personally, I found the design of the Jaybird Vistas the best. They are small, fit in my ears very well, they are comfortable to wear for hours. They also sound really good by default. Plus, there is the custom EQ in the app along with many other features. The Jaybirds offer IPX7 protection, such as the JBLs, but the Jaybirds case is smaller and uses USB-C, which means I don't need to carry an extra micro USB cable with me anymore. The JBL is still using micro USB, however it offers the best battery life and its noise isolation is one of the best in the group. If only you could adjust the sound with an EQ, it would be right up there with the Jaybirds, but there is no such a thing as app support at all for the JBLs. The physical controls are best on the Powerbeats Pros, but other than that they cannot offer anything extra over the others, which would make up for the difference in price. Their design is comfortable and the fit is secure, but these hooks makes the carry case too large, and there is the lighting port too, which means an extra cable in my case. For iPhone users it might still be a good option, but not for me. It offers the most relaxed sound, but probably it is not what you are after when buying a pair of earphones for your workouts. The Bose might sound one of the best even without EQ, but its bulky design and the not so good battery life and the outdated version of Bluetooth make it a less appealing choice in my eyes. So I've been hesitating between the JBL and the Jaybird ever since I started using them. The JBL has the better battery life and it costs a lot less than the Jaybird, but I love basically everything about the Vistas, especially the design, their sound signature and the app. I'm almost 100% sure that I'm going to keep the Jaybird Vistas. And before you ask why I did not include other brands or your favorite earphones in this test, believe me, I know there is a lot of good stuff out there, but I have limited resources and I had to keep the video short enough, and also I did my research before buying all of these earbuds, and these four seem to be the most promising to me. Maybe next year I'm going to do a review on the new Jaybirds or Sonys or whatever else comes out by then. So, that's my take on today's best true wireless sport earphones, but what do you guys think? Are you using any of these or planning to buy a pair for Christmas? Let me know in the comments below if you have any experience with wireless earbuds or if you have any questions regarding to these guys. I wish everyone a peaceful and happy Christmas. Thanks for watching, see you in the new year.